Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I have a really great game where I was able to get 3 brilliant moves, and it was just amazing. I'm sorry I have not uploaded in a while, I've been on vacation, but let's just get right into it. So it starts with E4 and F5. This is just not a good opening, this is just bad. So I take, and now D5, which is also horrible because of Queen to H5. And I see this move immediately, and I didn't exactly see the response of King to D7. I didn't exactly know what I was supposed to do, so I just continued with Knight F3. So just trying to threaten. I'm threatening Knight to E5. I'm gonna get the bishop out. I'm gonna castle and do all those things. So he plays Knight to F6, attacking my queen. And for some reason, I don't play Knight to E5 because after Knight to E5, I think I thought this. And I didn't understand what to do, but because I saw Knight F7, and after this, I just didn't see what the follow-up was. But the follow-up is actually Queen to E2, and after the Queen moves, then I have checkmate in 1. So, missed opportunity. This is why you have to be focused when you play chess. I was not completely focused on this game. I was doing other things, so I missed. That's not to say I wasn't completely focused. I was there. I was still calculating everything, but I was not in the correct mindset. So I instead played Queen to F7, which is pretty bad, because now the knight can never go to F7, which I realized, but I thought this was the best move. So C5 does absolutely nothing to prevent any sort of knight to E5 check, even though it's not even the best move in this position. The best move is Knight to C3 or D4, very close. I wanted to make sure I got the bishop out to control these escape squares right there. So Knight C6, best move. And now Bishop B5, pinning the knight and getting ready to play Knight to E5. And this is also the advantage of the bishop, because now the king cannot unpin himself like that. Queen A5 check is an inaccurate move that I did not see, but it's still horrible because at first I thought I was losing a bishop. But I'm actually not, because of Knight to C3, which defends it. And King D8, moving back, because the queen was just there. He couldn't do that a move ago. And now Bishop takes C6. Not the best move. The best move was to just take this pawn. But, okay. So I take this. And now Knight to E5. My pieces are getting very close towards the king. And now I'm just drawing arrows. And you can see that this is actually a very strong attack because of all these arrows. And he has no arrows, which means he's losing. So, Queen B6, once again, he still has no arrows. So, what is he doing? Now, D takes C5, because when the queen takes back, Bishop E3 attacks the queen. Now, you can see this is a bad move. This is a bad move because Knight E2 was better. And wait, no, this is a bad move because Queen D6. Now my queen is in a very awkward spot, and it can get trapped. It actually has no escapes. What? It actually has no escape squares to run to. So I'm actually losing by a little bit. I mean, yeah, I'm actually losing. I don't barely have an attack. So I find Knight to C4, which attacks the queen. It cannot be taken because of Rook D1. That's pretty elementary stuff. I don't understand really how this got a brilliant. I've been cheated out of brilliance for more, so I guess there's that. But Queen to B8 is a horrible move. You have to keep the queen into the game, and I feel like that's just a very obvious thing. You need to keep the queen in the game, but the squares are not very well controlled. And now I can play the absolutely brilliant. Okay, it's not brilliant. Long castles, which is getting the pin. And now, once again, you can judge an attack by the amount of arrows that are drawn. And look at that. That's a lot of arrows drawn. Now let's see the amount of the defense arrows that he's got. He's got this one. He's got this one. Probably's got this. See, there are no defense arrows compared to all the attack arrows that were just a second ago. So he's actually losing by so much. Bishop takes F5. This actually loses because of the mega ultra brilliant Knight takes D5. Whoa, that's what I played. But Knight takes D5. because after pawn takes d5, rook takes d5, knight takes d5, queen takes d5, bishop d7, rook d1, and he just cannot defend this bishop. Let's say, for example, queen c8. That loses to knight to e5, and I have way too many attackers of this bishop, and he's just going to lose. So, for example, rook b8, I can just take this here, and even though material is equal, there's not much he can do. He's just going to, if he tries to move with the king, I just win the rook, so that's nice. If he moves the rook, I win his queen, so other than the mate, but it's just, he's in a losing position if I play that. And I did see this, and I did calculate this, but for some reason, I wasn't focused, so I played g3, because I really wanted to attack the queen, because I thought this bishop was my least active piece, and I needed to put it there. That doesn't do anything, because now he has moves like g6, this is not the best move, but he has ideas like g6, and the queen is getting trapped, because once again, the queen has no escape squares to go to. So this is not good at all. So the only move that holds the draw is queen c8, which he didn't play. Oh wait, no, he does play. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I'm losing it. But he plays queen c8. And now, without any thought at all, I play knight takes d5. Actually, that's quite a bit of thought, but I played it anyway. Now, this idea is the only thing to do for me to survive, because after he takes, I now sacrifice the rook, and after this, I was not supposed to take. I was supposed to play rook to d1 to keep the pin, which I don't think anyone's finding. Like rook d1, when you see this and then you see this. Oh, that's mate. Okay, there's that. I didn't see that, but bishop to e4 looks like it shouldn't work. But rook to d4 attacks, and then I guess if bishop g2. Okay, maybe not bishop g2. What do you play? g6. Wow, that's a lot. That is a lot of only moves that you have to find. And then you have to sacrifice the rook. And then is it just a perpetual? Wow. Yeah, it's just a perpetual check. We'll go there, and then the queen will just bounce back and forth. So yeah, that is a crazy draw that I doubt anyone's gonna find. But I play the most natural move, which is to take. And now he can play king to e8, which I calculated and thought this was good enough. Or I guess. I don't actually know what I thought, but if I would have done that, that would have been a really stupid way to end the game. So, glad that did not happen. He instead plays the most natural, bishop to d7. So the best move is rook to d1, which just puts so much pressure on this, and it gets into the line that we just recently saw. But I played knight to e5. I don't really know why, I just did. King to e8 loses. I guess he's trying to get out of the pin and put the queen there. But it loses due to rook to d1 now, and now he will not be able to stop this mate threat. So he plays bishop f5 and blunders checkmate in one. A fitting way for this game to end with checkmate. So this game was bad. The accuracy, which I'm pretty sure was in the thumbnail, is like, let me check what the accuracy is. The accuracy of this game for me was 60.9, and for Big Boy 0, what a username, is 42.8. This was a horrible game. I didn't even have a blunder, so I don't actually know why it was that bad. I only had two mistakes. I've had high accuracy. It says I played like an 850, and my opponent played like a 700, even though I had 3 brilliant moves and 3 great moves. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time, when hopefully I will have posted a lot more videos. More should be coming out soon. I don't know. We'll see about that. But until then, I'll see you next time.